Let's end it off here with another segment of John Kirby being questioned on these UAPs, the UFOs, the objects in the craft, and let's see what he has to say.
No. Iraq's right there. Okay,
Admiral, you started the briefing by talking about the president's involvement in this. The report from ODNI recently that goes over this. In that ODNI report about unidentified aerial phenomena, it says there were 247 unidentified aerial phenomenon reports since March of 2021, some of which have, quote, demonstrated unusual flight characteristics or performance capabilities. So can you say why the president just recently, within the last couple of weeks, started ordering some of these objects to be shot down, and why there weren't any orders throughout 2021 or throughout 2022?
It's very simple. It comes down to what sort of safety and security threats and risks we're talking about, and also it comes down to a lot to our ability to track, detect, and engage. Having come from the Pentagon, I can tell you that some of these UAPs, while we may not be able to know what each and every one is doing, some of the big concern there was that many of those reports were happening around our training ranges, were happening around air training ranges. So combat pilots were seeing these things, and there was a potential impact to the safety of flight of our pilots. But you may not have but a fleeting moment on some of these things to see it, and so it's different in these cases.
I would like to point out, one, it's crazy that he's just going to talk about UAPs like, it's just a normal thing to talk about. You guys, it is not a normal thing to just talk about UFOs and UAPs. They're the same type of thing. They just changed the wording. You guys, our military is engaging with UAPs off the East Coast and West Coast where I live every single day, every single week, and we don't know what they are. If you want to YouTube, we've talked about the Nimitz, we've talked about the Princeton, Commander Fravor engaging with the Tic Tac, the gimbal video. We've done all of that. I highly recommend you do a deep dive because our pilots are coming out and again saying that we're engaging these craft, not like actual moving craft that are engaging with us, going to different locations, coming out of the sky from like 80,000 feet to a foot above sea level. I'm not trying to get into conspiracy theories here. It's just a fact of what we've caught on radar with our own pilots. These guys aren't idiots. They're given multi-million-dollar aircraft to fly on taxpayer dollars dime and entrusted to protect us with this craft. They know what they're talking about. They're just not idiots. So it's amazing to me that the White House is like, oh yeah, there's UAPs and, we've studied this stuff and not really giving any specifics. But yet the reporter was talking about, hey, there's been a ton of these objects that have maneuvers, propulsion, things that we don't even know about that actually been talked about in terms of it being a UFO or UAP, and trying to correlate it to with what's being shot out of the sky. Is there any connection here? And again, the White House has said they're not aliens. How would they know? He's coming out and go, well, we don't know much about the object. We're going to have to analyze and look at the imagery and all these other things. It could be. Who the hell knows? I'm not saying it is or isn't, but it's just amazing to me that you're going to say it's not UFOs or aliens rather, but yet at the same time, you're going to talk about UAPs. It's such a spider web, and it makes you wonder. Usually it's a spider web when somebody's trying to cover up something or give a load of BS, because usually truth is very linear. It's just like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, you connect the dots, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're all good. That makes sense. I can go from point A to point C really quickly, or point A to point Z rather quickly. Here, you're like, what's going on? That's why the room, as I mentioned, it's standing room only, you guys. You saw the press room. I've been covering every single briefing for literally 2 years now since we started the show. I've never seen the room like that before, ever. So this is a big deal. There's something going on here. We don't know what.
We had time to detect, time to analyze, time to engage, time to make those kinds of decisions. But it all comes down to safety and security, first and foremost.
So is the time, though, is a matter of capability? We have better capabilities now than we did back
We are
then?
certainly improving our capabilities now. And as I said, the president has directed the national security team to dig into this deeper from an interagency effort and to see what, if other improvements might need to make. I mean, look, just by adapting the way the radar parameters are set, we have improved our ability to detect. And again, I said that could be one reason why we're seeing more.
Again, I don't disbelieve them on that. I actually do believe that just because they changed the certain frequency and the gain on the radar, that they're actually able to visually see more objects, which I think is a good thing. I think that is a very good thing, and I think you're going to see more objects being blown out of the sky. I just want to make sure that we do get answers to our questions about what these objects are and what's flying over our skies. Are we just shooting private civilian stuff out of the sky willy-nilly? Like, is it a party balloon from freaking Party City? Like, what are we shooting out of the sky? Can we at least get any answers here? It's been well over a week on some of this stuff, and we don't even know anything. So, but be humble, you guys. Our military doesn't have a clue, which I think is a lie. I think our military knows exactly what these things are. They were able to tell us that it was unmanned. They're able to tell us that there was no propulsion. You're not able to give those types of things unless you had actual good visual detail on what's going on, actually studied it for quite some time to see what the heck the thing is that you're about to shoot out of the sky. But, hey, it could be aliens, it could be UFOs, objects, crafts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.